Vanguard wants to play this game as we jump in over to the Land of Dawn between these two teams on match point with Homeboys SG on a roll.
So going into the second match of the series,
to Mobile
Homeboys
Legends.
at match point. I'm looking to see a lot of early game rotations, especially with the composition such as a Baxia, such as a Lilia. You clear the wave, and then you join in team fights, convert those into objectives. You have a very, very strong objective taker in that Irithel alone, so Homeboys playing towards that gold lane is something that I am looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, we always turn our focuses to that, right? Because we talk about how Luxionstein as well as Mitsuri, we want to see them farm towards late game. I think the difference now, they actually still choosing to focus on the bottom side, the EXP side, and a bit of a skirmish happening here.
Yeah, the way you play Baxia though is like usually in a typical ranked game, you clear out your purple buff, go straight, dive into the orange buff of your opponent's jungle.
Kind of vertical jungling kind of thing.
Yeah, vertical jungling kind of thing, and then you set your sights up on the a heavier side of the map. But in this case, Super Jog's playing it very, very safe down on his own jungle.
They're gonna rotate up top here now, slowly clearing that for himself, trying to get one onto Dairy here.
Oh, hello, Pegs. Pegs, unfortunately, does not have the black shoes just yet, but Super Jogs is hard on the tails of Slowly and Slowly. Oh, burning out from the top. This is Poissons. I didn't think that that would be so much damage on
That's the power
Fanny.
of a Baxia. That's the power of a Baxia. You slow them down, you slowly peel them off with your skill 2. The shields are just gonna be so annoying because it's basically a no cooldown kind of skill, right?
They're topped off with that Impure Rage as well, right? To add on to the damage that he could potentially output onto Slowly. That being said though, they both are at level 4, so he might be in a position to try to take this turtle again. Oh, Mitsuri
finds himself a little bit, you know, kind of disturbed by the Kufra. But one thing that we know for sure is that Kufra was at the top lane, so at least I would say that Homeboys, they're gonna have to be a little bit more careful at the northern side. And especially since Dairy did give the information that the Fanny went over to steal the buff, Homeboys gonna have to respond.
The Homeboys playing it very, very safe now. They know that Vanguard is setting their sights up on that gold lane. Homeboys just taking control of other opportunities that they left wide open. Now, playing a Fanny though, you don't naturally go for a lot of these turtle objectives. You basically want to just pillage the jungles and then just choke your opponents out and then try to just pick them off one by one. But Homeboy, they understand how you play against a Fanny. Super Jogs is basically an assassin player himself.
One thing that I usually see from the side of Homeboys is that they actually crowd around as a team of 4 actually very early into the game. So this is very different from how they would usually play because now they are actually prioritizing onto their goal lane a lot. Despite the fact that Gronk has low amount of mobility, they're still focusing on the top. But in the meantime, we're just going to be looking at this, right? Because Slowly is the main equation changer as to why Homeboys is starting to play a bit differently. Since we're looking at Irithel versus a Claude. Irithel definitely wins, right?
Yep.
So it makes perfect sense that you actually bring a lot of your forces down to the bottom side and force fights there and let a natural duel between the Claude and the Irithel play out. But you can't leave the Irithel out alone solely because of the Fanny.
The thing I like about Homeboy is that they're not very reactive to Vanguard's approaches. Okay, the lockdown.
It does seem like Dairy's going to be finding himself in a bad time as he immediately got locked down and bursted out. That is a 1 free kill for the side of Vanguard. I wouldn't say free, but they used a lot for that.
Yeah, it was pretty expensive actually. I would say they expended at least 4 ultimates there just to take down
all
one
5,
Dairy.
right?
Well, I think Vernal Cure was on the bottom lane, so he wasn't there. But right now in the jungle.
Okay, Fanny doesn't have the triple buff. Super Jog stole it away. Doesn't have the retribution, but based on the turtle objective, it does look like Homeboy still will have a easier time to peel for the turtle. Now the quick rotations coming in. Mitsuri going down to the EXP lane because of the turtle. Getting that turtle started.
So thanks to the observer that actually showed us the farming of Claude, I realized how much I hate the skin. Why? It's just way too chill. Bloop, bloop,
Too chill.
Ploop, ploop.
It's like bubbles.
Yeah.
Just throwing bubbles.
That doesn't hurt at all. You're throwing bubbles at your enemies and you expect them to hurt?
It's true though. Right now
Yeah.
at this point of the game, you can see Luxion Stain really doesn't hurt at all.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
One thing I want to point out though, very, very small micro move from Super Jogs, taking the purple buff and leaving the small little lizard still alive so that Vanguard
Oh, in their
slowly-
own jungle?
In their own jungle. So that's a point that I want to bring out.
Wow, okay, so they are very confident with what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
And that is constantly just trying to invade onto Vanguard's buff all the time. So this is a very big risk.
Slowly doesn't have that purple buff. He will have a struggle taking the purple buff. Even if Slowly goes into the purple, the homeboy's jungle, he won't be able to secure any buff whatsoever. So Fanny's gonna have a slower start as of now. Super Jog's already level 9, Slowly still level 8. He's struggling right here as Burger Cure takes down the kill. That's an alley-oop.
I mean, with the Blade of Hephaestus, right, it's a lot of damage that you can output on that next Stain bottom lane. Gets taken down by Hex here.
It is a very worth it trade if you ask me. A single Grog for Slowly and Nick Stain. Yeah, I'll take it any day, buddy.
And it's not a good place for Slowly to be in, right? Mitsuri taking out that bottom tier 1 turret. Slowly so far, yes, he's been giving up these objectives, these turtle takes. And the thing is, when you give that up, you want to be able to find compensation somewhere else on the map. You want to take off the jungle buffs. Initially, he might have stolen 1 or 2 from Super Jogs, but right now...
Should manage to get the orange buff, but that is Super Jogs without a retribution anyways. Now, I do want to, kind of push this topic, right? That Homeboys haven't gotten a single... Oh, sorry, they haven't gotten all of their first tier defense turrets. So, breaching into Vanguard's jungle would prove to be slightly tougher. Would you think that this is actually a risky play for Jogs to actually leave the purple buff like that?
I think Jogs is really doing... He's making the work count, right? Just giving a lot of tempo, giving a lot of space, open, knowing where Vanguard is all the time. All he needs to do is try to negate Slowly's ability to farm up and get his power spike items. When he does that, Mitsuri is pretty much safe. There's no way in heck that Slowly's able to just do a drive-by, but hold on a second right here.
Pex forced to use the black shoes, but Luxion Stain finds himself taken down. Dairy Mitsuri as well as Pex just going to be focusing every single thing that they have down onto Nick as well.
There's just so much that you can use, right? The sun coming out from Super Jogs, and then Dairy has a Divine Judgment on his own. There's no way that you can even peel for your teammates. Nick Stain, there's nothing that he could do because either him or Luxion Stain will get pulled and suppressed by that Divine Judgment. So it's not a good look for them right now.
Oh my goodness.
The Homeboy's taking full control of the map. You see what just happened?
They even left a small little purple buff of both camps?
They did. Super Jogs doesn't really need the purple buff. It's just a little bit more cooldown, a little bit more mana regeneration.
Please kill it. Luxion Stain, please kill it. Luxion Stain, kill it!
He's not gonna touch. Okay, Luxion Stain, he listened to you.
Thank you.
But on the top side though, look at where Homeboys is, just sitting comfortably in their own jungle. So every single one of the minions in the jungle is basically looking like they are leaving it wide open. So it's like a warm welcome. Slowly come into my jungle. Everything's yours for the taking. If you can take it, if you have the courage to do so.
Man, this is grim. Super Jogs is all the way onto the back lines. He's just pushing Chutes away while didn't even lose much of his health. While Chutes is all the way in the back line, he does have the RWM, but he's popping. He's popping. But the only one that is hitting is Super Jogs, but he's still not dead just yet. But Pex and Dairy, the two of them is taken down. That is one of the main few things we gotta have to look out for. It's a 2-for-2 trade, but let's not forget about the middle lane first tier turret that has been taken down.
It's a very one-sided game, favoring Homeboys at this moment. 8 minutes into the game, the next Lord will spawn up in 10 seconds. Homeboys have a better chance in zoning out and preparing for this Lord. This would be very, very pivotal if they can pillage and take down the tier 2s.
I don't even think there's any contest to that, right? You know for sure that this is going to go in the hands of Homeboy. So again, Slowly, so far has been having a tough game. Whether or not that plan B, the split push, can actually be any form of insurance, but he has to play that to the maximum.
For Vanguard though, Nickstein, it's all down to him. He has to find a very nice catch onto Mitsuri, knowing that Mitsuri doesn't have to purify. If he finds a catch,
Right.
Vanguard can overturn any type of situation. Superjox again with the disruptive play onto the jungle, slowly choking
Red
out.
team turret has been
You
destroyed.
might be able to get a catch onto Mitsuri, but then what next, right? If Luxionstein tries to go in, you're susceptible to the Divine Judgment. Pegs, Magic Shoes.
Oh, false magic shoes. But it doesn't seem like Nickstein was prepared for that shoes to pop, unfortunately.
It's a very low cooldown. Pegs could use it defensively. It's basically, after the patch though, it's a very, very defensive use of black shoes.
But I was hoping that they will be able to make full opportunity of that. Super Jones comes in over to the anchor. He tries to get a kill down on the Super Ryan, but look at that health. He flickers himself right out of the way. As
Down
such,
bot side.
yeah, the
Red
Lord
team
is also
turret
going to be
has
pushing
been
right in.
destroyed.
Super Ryan is going to be defending with not a lot of health, so he's going to have to really watch out for that. Nickstein, he actually managed to catch, but unfortunately, Derry responded in time, and he made sure to pull Nick away.
Oh, one more hit.
But now with only a sliver of health, unfortunately, they wasn't able to clear it out. Luxionstein
Red team
versus a
hero has
Mitsuri.
been slain.
Dude, you can't do that! You can't blazing do it in the face of an Irritel.
Oh, Luxionstein a little bit too close for comfort there. That was a very, very good response from
Killing
Homeboys.
spree.
Oh,
Slowly
man.
but surely, Homeboys are taking full control of this game. 8,000 goal lead and counting.
Yeah, and that's not gonna stop at all. We do have the Fanny that's all the way up in the northern side though, so at least that counts for something.
Yeah, I think a little bit, right? But the thing is, the pressure coming from slowly right now is not even enough to force Homeboys to react to that on the top. Only now Cure going up to the top, and still he's made it in time to be able to take off the creeps. I think in the previous fight as well, I was just thinking that even though Vanguard might traditionally have the high ground here, but with the nerfs coming in through onto Yve as well as Claude, in terms of their wave clear, right? It no longer affects minions as much for both of them.
The
Oh,
catch
they find it.
down onto Derry, immediately bringing him down, and no more suppression, no more Divine Judgment. But they're gonna have to deal with a tanky boss, a raid boss if you ask me. Super Jocks just taking everything. In fact, actually it didn't take much because Vanguard was just full on back.
Mitsuri's on fire right now. Malefic Roll already built up. I think the Berserker Spirit Haas Claws is just secondary at this moment. Homeboys looking to peel down very, very often onto Vanguard's jungle. Homeboys, they could very well just pull them out into their jungle, finding a flank, especially for here. Derry already back up online. They are going to be zoning out for this Lord.
I would say that the win condition from Homeboys right now really is gonna be the Lord. I cannot imagine anyone to just casually jump in and do something about this. Other than Davey, right? He gotta have to expend the flicker. But that also means that he gotta have to find the right targets in order to do that.
Slain the Lord.
Very easy Lord take secured by Homeboys. To conceal play coming through.
I don't think that they will be able to catch that, unfortunately. But the main thing is they do have the Lord, so they do have their initiative factor. They do have their initiative way to break down Vanguard.
The first initiation is the Lord itself, right? But if you look at Homeboys, there's so much opportunity for them to start that fight, right? It could be Derry picking off someone, could be Super Jocks coming in with the Shield Unity. Cure also has that wild charge on top of the damage that he does already. So Vanguard, I'm not even sure their high ground is even worth that much right now.
It's all down to Nickstein. My eyes are on him. He's springing up. He will commit, but he's caught in the middle.
Oh, that is Nickstein getting dragged out into the oblivion.
Read like an open book.
None of the members from the side of Vanguard can even respond to that.
Oh.
There's absolutely no way. But hey, Mitsuri, he got sniped out by Slowly, and that is probably the saving grace of Vanguard. But one thing that I forgot, it is still a 5v4 as the Lord plunges down with his trusty trident down in the bottom lane. Enough to bring down the inhibitor out of bottom lane.
Massive farm by Slowly, taking down Mitsuri out of the game, and denying Homeboys any other opportunity to take down the tier 3 mid.
I mean, big win, right? But at the same time, Homeboys has already chunked down 2 base turrets, which are critical to Vanguard's defenses here.
Just a little bit more defense coming in from Homeboys though. Homeboys still adamant, trying to draw Vanguard out into the jungle. They do have a better chance of success within a lot of these team fight clashes if Homeboys fight within the jungle, and this is precisely what they are trying to do. Although they do need to have one loose man to try to defend against the backdoor approach by Slowly.
That seems like the only way that he might be able to get it, right? Otherwise, the only other possible method is... Just speaking of Slowly, and he almost gets caught out there. But he will have to find some way to catch Mitsuri like he did just now. But the thing is, the odds are stacked against him so high. So either he split pushes all the way to madness, or he somehow finds a miracle and gets Mitsuri in the backline.
You know, the more I watch Homeboys games, the more I am very, very sure that Homeboys is a team that just generally like to play late game. Even though they may not have heroes that allows them to scale infinitely into the late stages of the game, they're just a team that knows how to bring the game into the late stages of the game. Or, you know, if they are winning, they'll bring it all the way to the late stages. And unfortunately, this is not really something that is like a compliment or something, but it kind of shows that, you know, either number one, they have a lot of problems and troubles trying to end the game. Number two, they are playing the game like as though they don't have a 10,000 gold lead.
100%. I mean, Homeboys, they need to be able to use that divine justice a little bit more defensively right now. Vanguard slowly but surely walk into that late game. Luxenstein coming up online, slowly damage is coming through. They really need to be very disciplined on how they approach this. Homeboys down, looking at where they are standing though. A 3-2 approach, trying to draw as much as they can right now.
As now everyone's just going to be jumping onto Virno Cure. He's going to be the first one taken down throughout this entire team fight. Super Jocks, he's still alive though. No one is actually really touching him. Mitsuri and Derry is on a flank mission, but I'm not too sure about this positioning from Mitsuri though. Is it really working out for him? That is going to be a no, as Jude was able to clip him right at the edge of the RWM, brings him down immediately. That is a very bad positioning from Homeboys, as they became a lot more complacent right there. As now Derry as well as Super Jocks, they are now down to a sliver. Pex is the only one that still seems relatively healthy. As such, immortality popped. Derry doesn't have much health to work with, while Chu is just continuing onto the pursuit. Is that going to backfire on him? Doesn't seem so.
Oh, the base is cracked open. Minions are pillaging in onto that top side. Homeboys, this is their time to take down this Lord. Slowly needs to find a right angle, right time to get a drive-by. Lord still, that they've done so well in game number 1.
Yo, up until now, Slowly still doesn't have a buff.
No.
Poor guy. But that was really quick of Vanguard, right? Recognizing that Mitsuri was in the top lane and they had the opportunity to pull that trigger there, right then and there onto Homeboys, and actually taking down Very No Cure, which is a critical source of peel for Homeboys as well. And unfortunately, I think Homeboys, even though they were on a bit of a back foot, they still managed to make that out. Just the sheer damage output and positioning by Pex clawed back a number of kills for them.
I felt like Homeboys could have just ended it right there and then. They had the right opportunity to go for a backdoor initiation onto that base. It was cracked wide open. Lane management was favoring the side of Homeboys on the top side, but they wanted to go for a flank. Albeit they got that Lord in the process, though. Vanguard needs to go back on the defense. They have a little bit more high ground. Let's see how this plays out.
The purple buff, the battle for the purple buff may eventually be the end of the game. We shall see how that's going to work out, as a lot of the members on the side of Vanguard are just going to be pouring every single one of their abilities onto Super Jocks. They finally managed to bring him down. Mitsuri rushes right into the face of, onto Vanguard. But surprisingly, Mitsuri is still not dead just yet.
It's just a very, very slow game right here. Slowly still does not have his purple buff. Man, Homeboys, 3 lanes trying to push in.
He's been trying really hard. You can see him, you know, split pushing while the rest of the team is fighting in the team. Oh, taking some damage
close.
here.
Too close for comfort, I gotta have to say. But now the members of Homeboys, they don't really have a very good way to just continue to fight or even jump right in to extend the health of the Lord. As such, the best insurance here is to bring down the inhibitor turret in the middle lane. But would that allow them to do something? Yes, they will, with Verno Cure immediately jumping right in with the dive as the flicker. They manages to bring Luxenstein down, and the rest of Homeboys finishes things off onto the core, and Homeboys finally did it. Ending